race is something that is bigger than our friendship, and racism, and particularly anti-Black racism, are things that are bigger than our friendship.
Our next guest, Aminatou Sow and Ann Friedman, will talk to us about the importance of friendship, the role of race, technology, and therapy in modern relationships. Aminatou Sow is a writer, interviewer, and cultural commentator. She's a frequent public speaker whose talks and interviews lead to candid conversations about ambition, money, and power. Named one of Forbes 30 Under 30 in Tech, she is the co-author of Big Friendship, How We Keep Each Other Close, and co-host of the podcast, Call Your Girlfriend. Ann Friedman is a journalist who covers gender, politics, technology, and culture for many publications, including New York Magazine, the Los Angeles Times, and The Gentlewoman. She co-hosts the podcast Call Your Girlfriend and is the co-author of Big Friendship, How We Keep Each Other Close. Aminatou, Ann, welcome to GoodTalks with Healthline. How are you?
Hi,
so good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. And what I love about this is that you two are real life best friends. So with that, I kind of want to start off by asking you, with everything that's going on right now, a lot of friendships are increasingly relying on technology to keep their communication cadence healthy. I know I am, and it's actually something that I'm struggling with. Can you both tell us a little bit about your own experience becoming long distance friends? And maybe we can start with you.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us. Ann and I have been friends for 11 years this year. Happy anniversary earlier this year, Ann. We've been friends
celebrate.
I know. May 11th, very important. And we have lived far apart from each other, I would say like 9 of those years at this point. So we are very rehearsed in how to stay close to someone that does not live in the same city as you do. And, I think that for people our age or people who are, went to college, not where they went to high school or moved away from home for whatever reason, you have a tier of friend like this, people that you love a lot who you are just not close to. And so the pandemic itself, I would say, has not been hugely disruptive to our routine because we are used to using all of the technology to try to keep up with each other.
Anything you'd like to add to that, Ed?
Yeah, I think that the earliest days of our long distance friendship were we maybe relied on technology a little differently than we do now. Like we've gotten into more of a routine with our ways of keeping in touch. And, we are also in some ways not the best example because we also work together, which means we are on calls like this a lot. And so the challenge is less about how to make time to see each other, but how to make more meaningful time to catch up about the things that are happening with us, outside the work context.
Wow. Are you finding that you have to schedule yourselves in for that meaningful connection time?
Oh, absolutely. I think if we let work be the primary conversation driver, we would work all the time. That is just true I think that's true of everyone. And we wrote this book together over the last 2 years. And for as much fun as the book was also work, and having to really schedule some time where we say, okay, I just want to talk to you as my friend and I don't want to talk about work at all, or, making time to go on trips together that have nothing to do with work, or, just choosing activities that are truly about maintaining, the relationship that we have that is not touched by work.
Yeah, totally. And with that, my next question is, can you talk to us about the trapdoor and the role of race in your friendship? Aminatou, maybe we can start with you again and then go over to Ann.
Sure. You are referring to this concept, the trapdoor of racism, that was coined by the cultural critic Wesley Morris, who, uses the trapdoor really as an example of the limitations that will always exist in relationships between people of different races. And so the example really it's quite visual. It is that if you are a not white person who is friends with white people, there is always a moment that you are afraid that you will fall through this trapdoor, the trapdoor itself being a racist incident. And, and Wesley Morris is very descriptive about this, in that he says that it does not have to be some very big dramatic moment. In our book, when we talk to him, he actually likens it to a drop of mustard falling on your white pants, and then you have to decide whether it's like, oh, that was weird. Do I want to talk about it, or am I just going to wipe it away and move on? And and we think that it is a shorthand and an example that is that a lot of people can understand.
And for us, we have really come to realize that race is something that is bigger than our friendship. And racism, and particularly anti-Black racism, are things that are bigger than our friendship. And so our relationship will always be affected by those bigger forces. So the question is not, how do we have a friendship that is somehow sealed off from this bigger phenomenon in our society that we are simultaneously working to change? The question is, how do we address it in our friendship as it comes up? And how do we create more dialogue? How do I, as a white friend in our interracial friendship, try to be attuned to what kind of incident might make Aminatou feel like she is falling through a trapdoor, and be the one to say something about it first, so that the onus is not always on her to say, hey, there's mustard on your pants.
Yeah. And this may just be a me thing, but I always find it harder to have conversations with the people that you're closest to. So I love that you all, as friends, have created a space for you both to feel really comfortable to have these conversations, because like you said, it's not just about your friendship. It's kind of what we see in the world in general. So thank you for that. My next question has to do with, there are many examples of wonderful female friendships in the media, and just as many that show jealous and competitive behavior. Can you talk to us and tell us a little bit more about the shine theory?
Shine theory is...
Nope, go ahead, sorry.
Go right. Shine theory is the operating agreement in my relationship with Ann. Very early on, when we became friends, we would tell each other, I don't shine if you don't shine. Usually, it was if something really good had happened at work and you were proud of, like we were proud of each other, or sometimes something not as great had happened at work and one of us was feeling really disappointed about, the outcome of a meeting or a project or whatever happens at work. And we kept reinforcing this for each other. And it was really a reassurance to each other that we were invested in each other's successes, and we were really invested in each other's career arc over the long term. And, and we have been really, really heartened that shine theory is a message that has really taken root, and we think that it is precisely because it actually challenges this notion that, when women or people from marginalized communities get together in a professional context, that it's all, it's all competition and infighting. And we just found that in our lives that was not true, that people actually were very generous and would pool their resources. And that also, if you modeled for the people at work that you were willing to put yourself out there and share and really, have a conversation about how you could go further together, that people were generally very responsive to that.
I love that. Thank you. Ann, do you have anything to add?
I think that is a perfect summary of what shine theory is and why it has resonated.
Yeah, I don't shine if you don't shine. And I love that. And I think that's the perfect way to end our segment today, is how incredibly important healthy relationships with your friends are in creating safe spaces for yourselves and for everyone around you. So Aminatou and Ann, thank you so much for joining us at Good Talks with Healthline today.
Thank you so much for having us. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.